Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating source text called Code 207. It's essentially a pre-deployment briefing for a deeply serene, grounded orientation on the intense spiritual mechanics of what it calls Earth School. We're going to be following two 20-something subjects, Evan and Evelyn, dressed in clean, contemporary gear as they get ready to descend into the physical world. Let's dive right in and see exactly what it takes to survive down here. Before our avatars actually touch down, let's just quickly run through the syllabus for this cosmic briefing. We're looking at Welcome to Soul School, your temporary Earth suit, the 7 mystic portals, the spiritual war zone, the 4 body captains, and wrapping up with forging your permanent armor.
All right, part 1, welcome to Soul School. So, picture Evan and Evelyn standing in the vibrant, pristine halls of the Royal Teton Retreat, getting their deployment orders. But here's the massive catch, guys. The Veil of Forgetfulness. This absolute condition of descent means total amnesia. You literally don't get to remember your mission. It completely turns the human experience into an undercover operation where you have to fight every single day just to remember that you're actually in a school. As Lord Yellow so perfectly puts it, the universe is patient but relentless. Listen, the tests here aren't some written exam you just take at a desk. No way. They arrive as family conflicts, sudden out-of-the-blue losses, or, that one coworker who is always stealing your lunch. And the real kicker? If you fail the test by reacting with a ton of anger, the universe is just going to repeat that exact same test in a totally different form until you finally pass it. Moving on to part 2. Your temporary Earth suit. To navigate this incredibly relentless school, you're assigned this fragile, biological masterpiece of a body. But Lord Green reveals a totally sobering statistic. Get this. There's a 50% chance a soul is either rejected or literally dies before reaching adulthood. That really emphasizes just how precious and incredibly vulnerable this physical vehicle truly is. You absolutely cannot treat it like some rental car you're never going to have to pay for. Because what you do in this fragile suit actually echoes out into parallel dimensions. We are constantly building our afterlife homes right now, in real time. Every single choice builds either a luminous, etheric sanctuary, like a high-frequency city of light forged by virtuous acts, or an astral haunted house, a murky junkyard built brick by brick out of unpaid emotional debt and selfish reactions. Now, luckily, you aren't sent down without a safety net. You're provided with a really incredible rescue tool called the Violet Flame. Think of this as a giant cosmic eraser. It literally vaporizes your emotional garbage, like the lingering anger or sorrow from innocent mistakes, before it can manifest as physical suffering or that astral debt we just talked about. But here's the catch. It requires active, daily use. Okay, part 3, the 7 mystic portals. Let's take a look at the built-in energetic hardware of your Earth suit. We're talking about the chakras, stacked all the way from the base of your spine right up to your crown. These essentially act as vital transceivers that step down pure spiritual voltage directly into the physical world. Every single thought and action passes through these portals, and that colors your aura. You can project this brilliant, radiant power, or if you fall into traps like chasing raw sensation, pointless talk, or selfishness, you just clog the whole system up with dull, heavy energy. So how exactly do you fuel these portals? Well, the source text strongly warns against chasing chemical happiness. Those addictive, super fleeting spikes of bodily dopamine and serotonin that inevitably just lead to a crash. Instead, the ultimate goal is to become a completely clear pipeline for mystic feelings. These are those endless, flowing, sun-powered states of absolute peace and joy that literally don't depend on any external thrills.
There's a massive trap to watch out for here, which the masters call do-goodism. They seriously caution against just soothing someone's chemical cravings with a quick distraction. As Lord Yellow says, pain is a warning light. If you just cover up that warning light with a cookie or a pill without actually addressing the root cause, you're actively preventing that soul from learning their vital lesson.
Which brings us to part 4, the spiritual war zone. Look, Earth is definitely not a vacation resort. You are going deep behind enemy lines. Dark forces use highly specific tactics to drain your light. You've got invisible tempters constantly whispering destructive thoughts, astral spiders that literally feed off the holes in your aura created by addictions, and the really deceptive trap of the drifter, which is a drug-induced numbness pretending to be spiritual oneness. There are even puppet masters that operate right through human bullies just to harvest your reactionary anger. Crazy, right?
So, how in the world do you fight invisible enemies? Well, you definitely don't fight them with physical fists. You defeat them by building your auric armor. Every single choice you make for love, patience, or truth literally adds a layer of diamond-hard light to your force field. You have to stand firm as a mystic warrior, radiating so much pure, virtuous energy that these parasitic forces just slide right off of you.
All right, part 5, the 4 body captains.
But you know, the absolute greatest war is actually a mutiny happening right inside the cockpit of your own mind. Think of your body as a ship with 4 distinct captains. The instinctive ego screams for comfort like a panicked animal. The shadow dweller adds the heavy, dead weight of your past bad habits. The tempter continuously whispers these deceitful shortcuts right into your ear. And meanwhile, the actual pilot, the divine soul, stands super quietly in the back, just politely waiting for an invitation to take the wheel. You absolutely must discipline that loud ego and actively invite the soul to steer. To successfully navigate this internal mutiny, plus all the external noise of the world, you really have to activate your soul senses. These are your true superpowers. They allow you to read the mystic dimension that's layered right over the physical one. We're talking about things like a sudden gut feeling that physically confirms a spiritual truth, or an emotional premonition of danger. You have got to learn to trust these subtle, quiet signals over the loud, distracting static of everyday modern life. And finally, part 6, forging your permanent armor. You see, this physical body is absolutely going to fail eventually. Without actively weaving what's called your solar body, you just remain a flimsy ghost. Literally a drop of consciousness blown around by astral gravity after death. The solar body is this permanent spiritual garment woven day by day through your actual acts of patience, bravery, and virtue. It is the one and only suit that allows you to stand in the higher courts of heaven with real density and power. As Evan realizes in the story, out of the 4 paths you can take on Earth, you have to choose to become an evolver. You can't just be a dissolver who believes in nothing, an absolver hoping someone else pays your karmic debts, or a revolver who's just continuously chasing endless thrills life after life. No, the evolver is the mystic warrior. They're investing their energy into helping others and building a spiritual resume that's worthy of real cosmic responsibility. And this leads us to the ultimate revelation of the entire briefing. As they prepare to descend, Lord Yellow hits them with this. You are not waiting for a rescue. You are the rescue team. You are going down there to build enough strength, armor, and light to literally pull other trapped souls right out of their own astral nightmares. You are the intervention. So, as the memory wipe of birth begins for our avatars, the real exam starts for all of us. Ask yourself, what kind of permanent armor are your choices weaving right now? Every reaction, every moment of patience, every flash of anger is a thread in that armor. Keep this question in the back of your mind, and whatever you do, don't fall asleep in the jungle. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the explainer, and good luck out there in Earth School.